just gave me one. Thank you. Oh, nice. All right, we got a couple more seconds before we can begin, but we'll be with you in just a second. We ready, Mr. Martin? We ready to go? Okay, very good. Thank you, Earl. Good evening and welcome to the Planning and Zoning meeting for the City of Smyrna. Today is Monday, August 9th at 6 p.m. This meeting's called to order. At this time, I'd like to ask that all electronic devices be turned off as it interferes with our recording equipment. For those of you joining us for the first time, this meeting will be conducted much like a council meeting. As such, each application will include a presentation from staff, followed by a question and answer session between staff and the board. Following staff's presentation, we'll have the applicant present their case and answer any questions. Once all the questions have been satisfied, we'll have an opportunity for anyone in attendance that would like to come forward and speak in favor of or opposition to the application. When you do come forward, please come one at a time, state your name and address for the record, and sign the sign-in sheet at the podium. Or do we have a sign-in sheet at the podium? Okay, it's right here in front of the podium. We just need your name and address for the record. We've got a couple items we're going to table before we get into the meeting. So if you'll just bear with us. There we go. The first item on our agenda is 2021-132. This is zoning request Z21004. This item is to be tabled to the September 13, 2021 Planning and Zoning meeting. Do we have a motion to table? I have a motion, Mr. Smith. Do we have a second? Mr. Rice, all in favor, please vote. Can't get it? Okay. Your name? All right. Now we can all vote. What's that? Zero. Oh, awesome. Somebody's okay. The next item on our agenda is Z21. This item is to be tabled to the September 13th Planning and Zoning meeting as well. Do we have a motion to table? Mr. Phillips, second. Mr. Bentley, all in favor of tabling this item? What's going on? No. Items approved to table 6-0. All right, the next item on our agenda is 2021-343. This is zoning request Z21010 to allow for rezoning from future commercial to R10 conditional for the development of 4 single-family homes at a density of 3.77 units per acre. This is land lot 592. It's 1.06 acres on 1587 Roswell Street. Brad Thompson is the applicant. Mr. Staubs, the background, please.
Good evening, Joey Staubs, Planner 2 with Community Development. Applicant is Brad Thompson. Your recommendation will go to Mayor and Council on September 20th. This is the subject property at 1587 Roswell Street, a little over 1 acre with 1 existing house on the lot. Proposal is to subdivide it into 4 lots. The existing zoning is future commercial and proposed zoning is R10. Here's a map of the future land use. Most of it is industrial mixed use, but bordered by medium density residential. This is the proposed site plan. Have the R10 setbacks, front of 25 feet, side of 5 feet, rear 25 feet. 2 houses will have front entry facing Hawthorne. and then 2 will have front entry facing Roswell Street. The 2 on Hawthorne will have stormwater detention in the infiltration in the front, and the ones on Roswell would have them in the back. There will be a sidewalk on Hawthorne and Roswell Street. And the left side on Roswell Street is an access easement that has to be preserved. So that's really the reason why there's requested side setback reduction. And the 2 variances are front setback reduction from 40 feet to 25 feet because Hawthorne and Roswell are minor roads, and side setback reduction from 7.5 feet to 5 feet. Staff is supportive of those variances. This is an example of from the home elevation. Picture of the subject property and pictures of the adjacent properties. Staff recommends approval of the rezoning from FC to R10 for the development of 4 single-family units at a density of 3.77 units per acre. The following conditions: standard conditions regarding the composition of the homes, 2, requiring utilities to be underground, 3, developers responsible for traffic improvements, 4, no debris can be buried underground, 5, they'll comply with the city's tree ordinance, the yards will be sodded, and they will follow the tree planting schedule as proposed. Special conditions are 8, regarding the setbacks, front of 25, side of 5, and rear of 25. 9 is the minimum lot size of 10,712 square feet will be the smallest lot. 10, minimum lot width is 50. 11, minimum driveway length is 22 feet. 12, requiring a 5-foot sidewalk and 2-foot grass buffer. 13, setting the maximum height of 35 feet. 14, regarding fire access requirements. 15, water and sewer improvements. 16, stormwater improvements. And then 17 and 18, tying the site plan and elevations to what was submitted with the application. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Do you have any questions for Mr. Staubs? Mr. Bentley?
Yes, can you explain that access easement again, what that's for?
Is it abandoned right away or?
Nobody really knows, to be honest with you. I went to Public Works, and they don't know why the city has that easement. But like, just to protect any future interest that the city may want to use that for.
Yeah, I think it's those old garbage alleys that they used to use.
It was on one of the maps, and it actually goes behind those properties, right?
Right.
Because the trash was picked up at the rear of the homes. Any other questions? Okay, thank you, Mr. Staubs. Come forward and give us a little bit of information on your plan. Good evening, Mr. Thompson.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the Planning and Zoning Commission. My name is Brad Thompson with Price McLean Homes. And, Joey always does a very thorough job. There's not a whole lot to add here. The homes will be in the 3,000 square foot range, 3,000 to 3,500. We'll have our modern farmhouse look that we've done pretty much for the last 5-6 years. And there's not a whole lot more I can add, really, but I'm happy to answer any questions.
Any questions for the applicant? Mr. Bentley?
Just a couple. Did you look at whether you could do side entry or rear entry garage on those on Hawthorne?
Those could be possibly done. The Roswell Street, obviously, with the 15-foot access easement, it pretty well prohibits it. But it's possible, yes, that it could be side entry potentially. And I'm willing to, if I can do that, I'm willing to do that.
Well, both Hawthorne and Roswell are pretty busy streets. It certainly would be better, I think, if you could do that.
Yeah, like I said, I don't think I can help. I don't think I'm kind of boxed in on Roswell Street.
Right.
But Hawthorne, I think I could probably make that work.
And what price point are you gonna
They'll
look
be
at?
in the high fives, somewhere between 550 and, I mean, it could slide up over 6, but I'm hoping it doesn't.
And in the package, there's just like one elevation submitted. Obviously, you're not gonna build identical houses on
It's
four.
just for the purposes of the
It's kind of a placeholder.
correct. I mean, we never do the exact same elevation next to any house. We always try to, vary it up a little
You
bit.
anticipate they would look like the houses over on Foster?
Some of them will. I also have one on Matthews that is currently on the market that it may have a front porch. The ones off Hawthorne may be able to do that.
Okay. And just general idea, when do you think you'd be building these houses?
My hope is to start them in 2022. I've got a couple of things in front of it that I need to get going, but probably mid to late 2022.
Okay, thanks.
Yep. Are there any other questions?
Any other questions for Mr. Thompson? All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
This is a public hearing. At this time, we'd like to ask if there's anyone in attendance that would like to come forward and speak in favor of or opposition to zoning request Z21-010. Okay. The record reflect that there is no public comment. If there's no further discussion, I'd like to entertain a motion for this application. I have a motion to approve. Mr. Bentley? Okay, I have a motion by J.D. Smith. All in favor, please vote. All right, your application's approved 6-0. Mr. Thompson, good luck with your project. Next item on our agenda is item 2021-344. This is zoning case Z21-011 to allow for rezoning from R15 to RDA conditional for the development of 6 single-family detached homes at a density of 2.26 units per acre in land lots 339 and 382. This is at 3562 and 3572 South Sherwood Road. Midtown Builders Group is the applicant. Mr. Stobbs, the background, please.
The applicant is Midtown Builders Group. Again, your recommendation will go to Mayor and Council on September 20th. This map shows the 2 existing properties, 3562, 3572 South Sherwood. Together, they are about a little over 2.5 acres. Proposed list to have 6 single-family detached residences. The existing zoning is R15, and proposed zoning is RDA. As you can see, everything on the north side of South Sherwood is RDA already. The existing land use is moderate density residential. It will remain moderate density residential. At the north is Community Activity Center and medium high density residential. To the east is medium high density residential. To the south it's low density residential, and to the west is moderate density and Community Activity Center. This is the proposed site plan. You'll have the RDA setbacks of front 25, side 5, rear of 25. They'll all be front entry garages. The last third or half of the lot is encumbered by a stream buffer, so that will remain undisturbed. Stormwater detention area will be at the rear of the lot. It'll be a common facility. This is showing the sanitary sewer easement that run along the back of the properties. And then there is an access easement on the side of the units so that the detention pond can be maintained. They will install sidewalks along South Sherwood, and there are no variances required. These are a few examples of the homes they plan to build. Pictures of the subject property and adjacent properties. Staff recommends approval of the rezoning from R15 to RDA for development of 6 single-family units at a density of 2.26 units per acre. With the following conditions, again, standard conditions regarding the composition of the homes, requiring utilities to be underground, requiring stormwater detention, they'll be responsible for traffic improvements, and they will follow the city's tree ordinance. Special conditions are regarding the setbacks, front 25, side 5, rear 25. 10, requiring the minimum lot to be a little over 10,000 square feet. Minimum lot width is 50 feet. Minimum driveway length is 22 feet. They'll dedicate right-of-way along South Sherwood and then install sidewalk, 15, maximum height of 35 feet. They'll be responsible for water and sewer improvements and stormwater improvements. And 19 and 20 regarding the site plan and the elevations submitted with the application. Any questions?
Any questions for Mr. Stobbs? You, sir. At this time, we'd like to ask the applicant to come forward and speak on, tell us a little bit about the application. I'm pretty sure there's an L in that word. Good evening and welcome.
Good evening. My name's Jeff Kane with Midtown Builders Group, actually a resident of Smyrna, so the name doesn't really fit the company anymore. But this subject property is about a mile from my house. Joey did a great job summarizing what we're trying to do. Maintain the RDA on that side of the street, and the houses will complement. They'll have that farmhouse look, may have some brick and stone. We're trying to blend the farmhouse look on the left side of the property to the brick on the right side. So we want to kind of make it look like it's always been there. I'll entertain any questions.
Excellent. Do you have any questions for the applicant? Nothing? Nobody wants to know how big the houses are? Or, go ahead, Mr. Bentley.
Well, that's a good question. What is the square footage of the houses?
There'll be around 3,000 plus or minus.
Okay.
And lots, the first 3 lots will be basement lots, and the last 3 are not basement lots.
I went past it pretty quick on the site plan there, but I didn't think about this till just it flashed up there. But the one on the far right looks like it's pretty squeezed lot. Is that?
It is a narrow, it's still a 50-foot lot, but the build box with the setbacks is more narrow. So we have a special plan for that lot. Still maintains the 3,000 square foot, but that particular plan is 32 feet wide and goes deeper.
It's deeper?
Yes.
No, because it didn't look as deep, but
No, well, the lot's not deeper, the house plan will be deeper. And you guys don't have a copy of that particular house plan, because I just designed it.
all right. What price point are you looking at?
We're gonna be in the 6s, may creep, just depends on what the market's doing.
All right.
If lumber's still high, you know.
And what is your construction schedule?
It can't happen fast enough. I mean, I'm ready to put shovels in the ground, so unlike the last applicant, we'll be, as soon as we get through the hurdles of civil, we'll get started.
Okay, thanks.
All right, any other questions? All right, thank you, Mr. Kane. All right, this is a public hearing. At this time, we'd like to ask if there's anyone in attendance that would like to speak in favor of or opposition to application Z21-0. I wrote this.
I'm Kim Campbell. I live on the street,
Good evening, welcome.
and this seems like just more of what we've already had. These houses look like, I live there, these houses look like what we already have. I would just like to urge or recommend,
Real quick,
yes,
you're Mr. Campbell?
Yes.
What's your street address?
3573 and 3575.
Okay,
I own the two houses there. He'll be facing my houses.
gotcha.
If there's going to be land behind this that can't be developed, okay, and this sort of nice hole, it's been, vacant for a long time, but if it's settled, they're gonna build these houses, and there's land that because of, erosion and stream concerns, and there's gonna be public access, then maybe in the future you could consider, some kind of park or something else that people could use, if there's already gonna be an access strip that runs along there so that you can maintain your drainage. And if that's gonna be sitting there and it can't be built on for, good reasons, then maybe the public could have access to it once this is all done. You could think about, a little park or dog park or something else, depending on the size of it, that the public could use, okay? It seems to me that there's that little cul-de-sac back there. So there's gonna be, not just these houses are gonna have that in their backyard. There's people that are down the street that are in that cul-de-sac, their backyards are gonna come up against this as well. So as long as it has to be idle, if we could in the future think about something to do with it to help children play, things like that.
Yeah, absolutely. I would mention that to your elected official, but I'm sure there's a whole litany of legal reasons why that might.
And I
be a
mean,
little challenging.
yeah, exactly. I mean, maybe they're because just nothing can be there because of drainage. It could be that it just can't be used.
Right.
Okay. But, dog parks, things like that don't really require much structures. I mean, you don't have to have buildings. So it's hard to tell by looking at the thing how big it's gonna be too. Okay. If it's gonna be the size of this, then it doesn't matter.
Yeah, right.
But those are really big lots, and it seems like a lot of it is impossible to use. I know that's why it's taken such a long time for development to occur there, is because so much of it was, he would say 2.2 acres, and then, you guys would come to see how much you could actually build on. It's like, oh, just this little strip here. Okay. So that's just I'm not opposed to it. That's just a thing to add.
Yeah,
If it's possible, if there's legally possible for the public to be able to use this land that can't be used, then it'd be nice.
So you just said you're not opposed to the
No, I'm not opposed
application
to
as
it.
presented.
Okay, it's just more of the same. Okay,
Absolutely.
Just stick it in your records that, hey, if there is a way for the public to use this unusable land once we're done constructing, it'd be nice if we could.
It is on the record.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Okay. Is there any other comments? Okay. At this time, I'd like to entertain a motion on application zoning cases E21-011. We have a motion to approve, Mr. Bentley. Second, Mr. Smith, our hardest working tandem. Please vote. The application is approved. Go before mayor and council, like Mr. Staub said, on the 20th, September 20th. That's what you said. Good luck with your application, with your plan, and thank you for investing in Smyrna. All right. Guys, no. I do believe this might be the last meeting for a little bit for Ms. Crow. We're going to miss you. Good luck. Congrats, all that stuff. All right. Note with, well, we do have one more item on the agenda, and that is the approval of the minutes from the July 12th, 2021 Planning and Zoning meeting. Can someone please beat Mr. Bentley to, Michael Seagraves, a motion to approve. Second, Mr. Smith. Still the quickest hands on the, all right. Please vote to approve the minutes. Minutes are approved 6-0. This meeting is adjourned at 6:24 p.m.
Up here.